All right, hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well and had a great weekend. I know I did, and I want to talk today about natural born citizen and share some things that with you guys. Now, I have a friend named Alfred, and he shared with me a particular portion of the Constitution that's very important, and let me just read it. It's in Amendment 20, Amendment 20 of the U.S. Constitution. If a president shall not have been chosen before the time fixed for the beginning of his term, or if the president-elect shall have failed to qualify, then the vice president-elect shall act as president until a president shall have qualified, and the Congress may by law provide for the case wherein neither president-elect nor vice president-elect shall have qualified, declaring who shall then act as president, or the manner in which one who is to act shall be selected, and such person shall act accordingly until a president or vice president shall have qualified. Okay, Amendment 20 talks about the president-elect meeting qualifications. This is all in the Constitution, and it's spelled out very, very, very clearly. Now you say, what are those qualifications? Okay, if I go to Article 2, Section 1, I know you guys know it, but I'm going to read it to you again. They say the best teacher is repetition, so let's repeat. No person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of president. Okay, I want you guys to notice that it says no person except a natural-born citizen. It goes on to say, or a citizen of the United States at the time of adoption of this Constitution. Now, it's making a distinction between a normal citizen, like you and me, and, well, you and me is a bad example, but a normal citizen, like somebody who has become a citizen of the United States, it's making a distinction right there between a citizen of the United States and a natural-born citizen. Because when they threw off the tyranny of England, there wasn't anybody who had had time to have both parents be American citizens. So the initial revolutionaries, George Washington and his crew, were just citizens. They were not natural-born citizens. So let me read that again so it makes sense to you. No person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of president. So it's making exceptions for those that are revolutionaries and those that had just thrown off the tyranny of England and saying, we're citizens at the time of the adoption of this Constitution, right? But in the future, as we go on and develop our country, right, we want our president to be a natural-born citizen. That was done so that the president would not have dual loyalties. Okay, it's very clear, and I'm going to get into where we define natural-born citizen very specifically for you guys, and I want to give you a little story about George Washington's 221-year overdue library book. Okay, that's very clear. I mean, okay, guys, it's talking about the difference between a citizen at the time of the adoption of the Constitution and a natural-born citizen. It makes a distinction. And in Amendment 20, it talks about the president-elect meeting qualifications, and it's talking about those qualifications. It goes on to say you got to be 35 years old and have spent 14 years in the United States. Now, let me tell you guys a little story. My wife and I, on weekends, after we mow the yard and we do all of our housework, we go we're a connoisseur of thrift stores. We go around thrift stores and we look for good deals. Now, when I go into these thrift stores recently, I've been picking up American government textbooks. I got 6 of them here. I got 6 American government textbooks. Did you guys pay attention in American government class in high school? I didn't either, but I got 6 textbooks now, and I've been reading through them, specifically what they say about presidential qualifications, because every single one of them got a section on the president, the 3 branches of government, and one of those branches is the presidential branch, the executive branch. Okay, so this first one, the transformation of American politics, okay, the transformation of American politics, written by Newman. It's a textbook, okay, it's a 2007 high school textbook, and on page 136, it says the Constitution of the United States of America specifically spells out the qualifications to be the President of the United States. It says Article 1, so that's an error in the textbook. It's actually Article 2. Article 1, which, again, that's an error, gives the formal qualifications. One must be a natural-born citizen, 35 years old, and a resident of the United States for at least 14 years before becoming president. Again, this textbook, it emphasizes the fact natural-born citizen. Now we have the 9th edition of Democracy Under Pressure, an Introduction to the American Political System. Milton C. Cummings, Jr., David Wise. Democracy Under Pressure. Democracy Under Pressure. It's a high school textbook. It's 2002. Okay, 2002, page 418. There are few legal qualifications for the office of president. The Constitution requires only that the president be a natural-born citizen. It even puts in little quotes, natural-born, at least 35 years old and 14 years a resident. It even has a little footnote here. A citizen born abroad of American parents, parents plural, might well be regarded as natural-born. The question arose in 1968 because George Romney, a Republican hopeful, had been born in Mexico. Okay, McCain was born abroad, but both of his parents were American citizens at the time of his birth. So you need to keep that in mind. It's both parents being citizens. You can't have one parent be a citizen. Okay, Politics in America, Thomas R. Dye, Texas edition. It's Prentice Hall. Okay, Prentice Hall. And it's, I don't know what year, it's 1994. This book was written in 1994, okay? American government textbook, and I've bookmarked it, page 402. Who may be president, okay? Who may be president? To become president, the Constitution specifies that a person must be a natural-born citizen, at least 35 years of age, and a resident of the United States 14 years. Okay, a textbook written in 1994, written in 1994, confirms natural-born. Magruder's American Government. Magruder's American Government, okay? This book was written, when was it written? It was written in 1983. I got a 1983 American Government textbook here. Formal qualifications to be president, page 347. Qualifications, terms, and compensation. Formal qualifications. Whatever else the president must be, the Constitution sets out 3 qualifications for the office. It says that the president must be a natural-born citizen under the doctrine of jus sanguinis, which is by blood. Now, you can have jus sanguinis from one parent, and one parent may get you to be citizen, but in order to be natural-born, you have to have both parents. In order to be natural-born, both parents, plural. Okay? That's the difference between citizen and natural-born. It goes on to say that someone born abroad could possibly become president, but it says some dispute that view, and the real shape of this argument cannot be known unless and until someone born abroad, born a citizen, but born abroad, does in fact become president. So they're talking about both your parents being United States citizens, but being born abroad. Obama's father is not a United States citizen, okay? He was a Kenyan, okay? So you have to understand what jus sanguinis does and how it gives citizenship by blood to the baby that's been born. But in order to be natural born, you have to have both parents, and I'm going to prove that. Okay, Government by the People by Burns, Peltison, and Cronin. It's written in, looks like, hold on just a second. Well, it's hard to find the copyright things on these things sometimes. I think this was written in 1998. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like 1998. Government by the People, okay? It's an American government textbook. You're going to freak out when I read you one part of this book. I found a little quote in here, and you guys are going to love this. It says, our Constitution establishes 3 qualifications. The president must be 35 years old, live in the United States for 14 years, and be a natural-born citizen. All of these textbooks are confirming natural-born citizen. Okay, and then on page 397, I want to read you guys this statement, and this blew me away. It says, the job of the president, and it has a little paragraph that talks about the job of the president. We want the president to be the architect of a new world order, and it even has in parentheses, new world order, who negotiates favorable trade pacts with major trading partners. So you guys know Norman Dodd, and Norman Dodd worked with all kinds of Rockefeller centers and tax-free exempt foundations. And he had an interview with G. Edward Griffin before he died, and he said that these elitists were trying to change our textbooks and change our school books. But it says in this book right here, we want the president to be the architect of a new world order. And this book was written, I think, in 1998. But that's shocking they were saying that back then. But best I can tell, this is 1998. It's got a 1998 copyright. Okay, now this book, The Challenge of Democracy, Special 8th Edition, written by Janda, Berry, and Goldman, okay? This book, it's got an error in it, right? It says Powers of the President, page 375. The requirements for presidency are set forth in Article 2 of the Constitution. The president must be a U.S. born. Instead of saying natural born in this particular textbook, it says U.S. born citizen. So I got 5 textbooks here that say natural born. This textbook uses the phrase U.S. born. Natural born is the proper way to refer to it. And you say, okay, well, define natural born, Rudy. What is natural born? Okay, you guys know that George Washington had a 221-year overdue library book. Did you guys know that? I'm going to put the article in the information bar and you can go click on it. He had a 221-year overdue library book. Do you know what that library book was? It was the Law of Nations. The Law of Nations is referred to in the Constitution. I think it's in Article 1 if I'm not mistaken. Okay, the Law of Nations is the book that our Constitution was framed off of for a lot of the laws, right? And you say, okay, well, what does the Law of Nations say about natural born? And this is the book that George Washington used, and it was his overdue library book, 221 years. It says the natives or natural born citizens are those born in a country of parents, plural, both parents, who are citizens. As the society cannot exist and perpetuate itself otherwise than by children of the citizens, those children naturally follow the condition of the fathers and succeed to all their rights. Okay, the Law of Nations, which is referred to in Article 1 of the Constitution, talks about natural born citizen being a child of 2 parents that are citizens. So natural born has a whole new meaning. The Constitution breaks out a distinction between a natural born citizen and a regular citizen. Okay? Look, Obama's father was Kenyan. He should have never been president. We just don't have anybody in Congress that has the backbone to stand up on this issue. I hope that Ron Paul gets a backbone. Ron Paul is going to have a repeat of 2008. You guys think you want to win on the issues. You think we're going to have a race war. You say, well, Rudy, let's just win on the issues. Let's beat Obama on the issues. Walk into Sodom and Gomorrah. I want you to imagine walking into Sodom and Gomorrah preaching limited government, preaching good financial economic theory, preaching individualism, preaching the Constitution and freedom and libertarian values. And see how far you're going to get doing that in Sodom and Gomorrah, because that's exactly what you're trying to do. And Ron Paul's going to lose again, and I said it all along. If Ron Paul wants to win, he'll side with Sheriff Arpaio. He'll side with Terry Lakin. He'll side with Pastor James David Manning. These people have put their lives at risk. These people have put their treasure at risk. They put their reputations at risk. And all Ron Paul has to do is just align with them. They've already done all the hard work. Just make a statement and say, I see the light. I understand that Sheriff Arpaio has done all the investigation work and he's already made it public. And Ron Paul, that's all he's got to do. Ask yourself why Ron Paul won't do that. Ask yourself why Ron Paul won't. You say you trust in him? You trust in Ron Paul? Do you? Do you really trust in him? And he won't say anything truthful about anything what I've just said, that a natural born citizen must have 2 parents. And not only that, he's released a forged document. Okay? Oh my goodness. God bless every one of you. Somebody somebody try to get Ron Paul's ear and tell him about Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Tell him about this information. God bless every one of you. Have a great week.